How in the... Oh, good God. How you guys doing? Sorry for the cliffhanger in last video. Now we're gonna get this taken care of. I went and got a crank sensor. I don't know, I spent 50 bucks on the last one. This one was only like 26, so not bad. I got an oil filter as a spare, and I grabbed one AC delete belt. So I'm gonna slap all of that on. He didn't have a second one, but I'm gonna try to find a Napa, one of the green belts, if I can, for the delete belt, but we shall see. So let's get to work. So luckily one of the bolts didn't fall out, but you guys can see it snapped part of the top off and it oblonged the threads up there. So this bolt's junk, but we have a general idea of what we need for the next one, so I will save that. And then I'll come up here. I'm gonna replace the crank sensor so that way I can have my alternator working. Crank sensor's the easy part. I don't like swapping these serpentine belts. I put this one on last night. You guys can see how crooked the AC compressor is. That thing just does not line up, but it allowed me to drive the 8 or so miles to get here. And I put the spare belt on last night. You can see there's where the crank sensor was. There's the crank sensor. So never let yourself be stranded. All right, I'm gonna throw the old belts away. We got shit done. There's the new crank sensor. There's the new serpentine belt that does not utilize the AC. I'm gonna leave these ratchet straps here just to hold it in place so it doesn't go anywhere. But explain this for the guys that are like, oh my God, he finally had issues with the 12 valve. So the funny thing is, this is my fault. I was told to put the 2 bolts back in, get this problem fixed a long time ago. The fact that they lasted 40-some thousand miles before snapping, this was my bad. But if this would have happened on a common rail, because I would have done the same thing on the common rail, I'd be dead in the water. It hit the crank sensor and destroyed it. Crank sensor goes out on the common rail, dead in the water. On this, I was able to slap the spare belt on it and drive it 7 miles. 7, 8, I don't know, it was in between 6 and 8, something like that. And I was able to get here. I considered calling a tow truck last night, and I was like, this is gonna get expensive quick. So I didn't call the tow truck. Other than that, always be prepared for every situation. I have a spare belt. If this one snaps, I have a spare belt to go around the AC, just in case. That's why I left that set up the way I did. And then I'm gonna go at some point and go grab another belt from somewhere else because they don't have one. So other than that, we're not dead in the water. We're able to keep chugging along. I got a spare oil filter for when I hit 490,000 miles. I'm gonna swap that out. But for driving this thing 8 miles with no alternator, listen to this. Starts right up. That is awesome. So it started right up this morning with no issues at all. So it looks like I have about 4 hours and 45 minutes on my logbook left. So I'm gonna try to finish that out. We jackknife into this guy's parking lot. Look at that. We're able to flip a Yui. So I like these little loads. Once I get a 50 footer, this ain't gonna work. Go figure, my generator that I just got rebuilt, I wanted to use it last night and it started, ran great, went to get back in the truck and it shut off and never started again. I don't know, man. Kind of weird, but you know, it is what it is. It is low on fuel, but it's not out of fuel, so I don't know if that'll attribute to it. So I'm gonna fill it up with gas tonight. But I looked on the map last night, there was no areas where there were houses nearby, so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna run the generator, you know, turn the heater on and everything. That didn't happen. I guess it is what it is, not a big deal. I know I've said this before, I know I've gotten comments on this, I'm just gonna address it now because I know I'm gonna get comments on this video. I don't care that things break, it doesn't bother me. It seems like things breaking on this truck bother other people more than it bothers me, because I would prefer to have money in my pocket than to pay for the downtime on a new truck. So just gonna put that out there. If you guys enjoy paying all this money to fix your new trucks, that downtime cost me $70. And part of that was an oil filter and I needed a spare belt anyway. So it's like, it really doesn't bother me. I'm still out here making money. I enjoy putting most of the money that I get from these runs in my pocket as opposed to a new truck. So I'm happy with that, I don't know. I have nothing to complain about. I'm letting the video render here, so not touching the laptop, just letting it render because this laptop is slow. But yeah, so we're doing good. Been cruising at around 20, 25 pounds of boost all day. So the headwinds are a little bit less today. Still getting piss poor fuel economy with this boat. I didn't realize it had a windshield on it as well and a sail back there. So it is kind of awful. It is pretty bad. I didn't realize this thing it hasn't given me any issues. It just feels heavier than it really is because of all the wind. But we're going back east after this one. We're taking 80 east. So I don't have to worry about any of the wind because it'll be pushing against me. I believe that's how that works. So let's keep on trucking. All right, we made it. I just want to come under here, check the carrier bearing. Still looks like crap, but it's still holding on, so whatever. Everything else is good under here. Just gonna adjust some airbag pressures, and fire extinguisher stayed where it needed to. Extension cord, I'm gonna do some nice routing with this for the generator. Probably add a muffler to the generator at some point, but everything else super happy with. I'm gonna check the coolant later. Other than that, and look like, so here's where I have my breakaway for the people that aren't putting these on correctly, which is pretty annoying because they're not gonna do anything. Mine, you can see that this has less slack than the chains do. If these chains let go, this is actually going to pull. Unfortunately, it's so short that I can't wrap it like I usually do. I go around the bumper and come back through because you're not really supposed to have it on the same point right here. But this is really all I could work with. So I have it wrapped around, and you see it can't go anywhere because of the bolt back here. So that's what we have for that. I'm not certain that this is legal, but it will do the job if there is an issue. So always, like, I feel like that's the most important part of it. So aside from that, this thing's actually doing pretty good. You guys can see I didn't actually back in here. I snaked myself between that truck right there and this truck here. I literally just pulled right through. So kind of cool that I was able to do that. So something to make mention of, this has been a sail here. That guy's gonna need to get a new one of those, possibly. And then the windshield. So I didn't realize just how big this boat actually was until I got out here out west. It definitely feels a lot heavier than it actually is. So this thing is a huge sail. So I finally figured that out after talking to a few people and going from there. Tires somehow are still okay, holding air. Check the bolts on these, everything looks tight. Yep, bolts are tight. Just want to come back here, make sure everything's good. This flare here is kind of obnoxious. That keeps popping out, but that is what it is. Haven't had the light come out since I threw the zip ties down back here, so cool. Cool there. Tires are wearing normally. You can see where I plugged this tire, and it's been perfectly fine. These things still, for having almost 20,000 miles on them, still have a decent bit of tread. The fronts are not chopping anymore, so that's good. I know dually guys have a huge complaint about tires chopping. All the lights work. All right, so before I go in and get my shower, I want to show you guys everything over here organized. I went through, plugged in the cables for the generator. I do need to go get gas. I ran them through all the way across behind the fire extinguisher. Show you guys over here. So I have this one running through the door, and there's a routing under the seat, and then I have this one as a spare in case needed. Spare hitch receiver down there. This can chill right there. So all that's organized. Now, this is the reason I won't go bedless, because I wanted to run a step deck, but it's not going to be possible with my setup. But everything in here is perfectly organized. You can see everything has a spot. It is mashed in here tight. Spare bulbs, bits, deburring kit, the TPMS stuff, infrared laser I always keep on top, and then there's a bunch of stuff here that's useful that I use. And then over there, and so you have a spare carrier bearing, I have a tool bag there, a tool bag there, each one for specific stuff I don't want to get into. 2 jacks, zip ties, and tire bead balance. Small ratchet straps and bungees, big ratchet straps over there. I have a spare tire fork kit. The wrenches get stuffed in between, the oil filter and the spare bearing over there. And then there's another bin over there for other stuff, and then screwdrivers and whatnot. There's a soldering iron down here, just a bunch. Everything is organized, and it took years to perfect this organization, and this is how I want it, and I refuse to get rid of the bed because that means I lose all of this, and all of this I have used at one point or another, and that's why it's with me. So generator, I just need to figure that thing out and figure out why it's not running. So I'm gonna go put some fuel in that later. But there's the axles. I need to get them installed. So we'll lock this, get that slammed down, and yeah, everything else. I also don't have a gooseneck hitch anymore, so running straight 5th wheel. When I do get a trailer, it's going to be a 5th wheel coupler. I will upgrade this eventually, but for now, I love this thing. It has the 1-inch jaws, the good ones, a thick 5th wheel plate, and then I use that for the lube, and then everything else is lubed separately. So I really like this setup. I would have liked, knowing what I know now, I would have liked to ditch the rails and just gotten like a B&W turnover and ran that 5th wheel style, but it is what it is. I'm not too worried about it, and I will continue running the 5th wheel rails, especially since the rails are actually welded to the bed, the support beams. I know this isn't exactly legal, but you guys can see it right there. They're all solid welded, so it's not like I'm gonna be taking them off anytime soon, and I've pulled 21,000 pound trailers with it, never had an issue. I know it's not DOT legal, but they were welded on long before this truck was used for commercial stuff, so it is what it is. But other than that, super happy. Got spare battery, all of my spare fluids over there, which I'm gonna check the coolant before I leave. Let me know what you guys think I should do with the brake light as well. Should I delete the brake light and do like the 5500 style ones where they have just a plate there, or should I replace that with something? Because the dome lights and the cargo light have never worked in this truck since I got it, and I have no idea what that is. But the cab lights work, so it's weird. The cargo light says it's on, but it's not on. So I've replaced the bulbs, I've done the headliner, all of that, and nothing works. So, man, this wind is bad. 81 degrees outside, coolant temp is at 213, EGTs are at 1200, 71 miles an hour, 30 pounds of boost. Damn, we're having some issues out here. So I accidentally took a 30-minute break because I'm at this fuel island and the car didn't go through, and we had to wait on hold with them for like 15 minutes to make sure I didn't get double charged. So I have like 2 more minutes and then it'll be a 30-minute break. So I'm gonna sit here for 30 more seconds, get that 30-minute break. That kind of sucks though. I didn't want to take it this early. Just look at that fuse. So we're probably gonna have to upgrade some wiring and get a bigger inverter, because that is not gonna cut it. The fact that melted a lot before it even blew. All right, well, we're about 2 minutes from dropping this boat off. See, I'll probably get a little bit of walk around when I get there, but other than that, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I'm so glad to have this thing off the back of my truck. I am going to be going now to Copart tomorrow to pick up another one, which I think you guys will really find interesting. All right. Alright, so we dropped the boat. We're headed back to Maryland. Alright, we are back in Idaho, filling up at the same fuel station that I filled up at yesterday. So it took 80 to 84 going wherever we dropped. Now we're heading back. So it says fuel here is $3.61. Mudflap says $3.11, so that's a 50-cent fuel discount. That's actually pretty sweet. I went through on my app and figured out how to log into EFS as well. So EFS has been offering more discounts than I really thought. I didn't realize that I was saving as much as I was, which is pretty sweet. So I need to pay attention to that and stop using my regular credit card or debit card at some of these pumps, because I've been filling up at regular fuel stations sometimes just for the convenience, but it's definitely not paying off. So, other than that, we're gonna go pick up today. Hopefully I make it. This says 2:45. I think Copart closes at 5, but I don't know. I need to call them, but I also need to stop at a Wells Fargo. So it's like, it's kind of, today's gonna be pushing it. I'm thinking about doing 50% tint on the windows because like this is brutal with the sun. Like I don't even care. From what I've heard, the tint tickets don't affect your CSA score. They just go on the personal record. So I'd be completely okay with that. I don't want anything dark like I used to have, because I used to run like 3%, but I think I'd be completely okay with 50%. I feel like that would do it pretty nicely. And then maybe the brow up top. But there's gotta be something to do with this sun, because this is just brutal. I just went and got fuel. I'm almost out of it. And fuel is $4.09 in Wyoming, depending on where you're at. And there is no mud flap or EFS location anywhere near it, so I just threw 50 bucks in, which came out to be 12 gallons. Oof. So hopefully 12 gallons. That should get me right around where I need to be, and then I'll fill up with either EFS or mud flap. So I'm gonna start looking now. So we'll see how long this takes to get me pulled over, but I have literally been driving with this one and this one on, like halfway, and then I try to like take up the little top there. So kind of like it. Definitely a lot cooler in the cab and easier to see and not have the sun glare on you and whatnot. So I like it. We'll see how long it takes to get pulled over for it. But other than that, I found fuel for $3.15 at a Turkey Hill. Wow, that totally beats the $4.06 I just spent on 12 gallons of fuel earlier. All right, back here somewhere, a lot of burnt Dodges. There's a burnt Ford too. See a couple ranch hands I'm eyeing up. Let's see if he can get that out of the way. All right, here it is. Got it wrapped. Got to figure out how to get this thing. Oh, it's got A flat. Gotta figure that out. Get over this thing. Oof. Well, guess we'll get to work. No idea how I'm gonna do this, but we shall see. All right, so I'm trying to get a game plan on how I'm gonna do this. Sorry about the wind noise if there is any. You can see on the inside, so there's stuff in there. I need to figure out how. For one, I need to get air in this tire. I don't know that it's damaged, so we shall see. It might have just popped on the impact. Yeah, you can see it went through a field or something. So, and then there is a shaver there. That's kind of weird. But I'm gonna attempt to throw some straps over it, and more than likely I'm gonna do this at night. So I've done some dumb shit before, but nothing this crazy. But we got 3 out of 4 good tires, so that's a plus. I'm gonna deal with that here in a minute. So how in the fuck? Oh, good God. Well, this is messed up. I've been prying at this. I need to pull this back so that when I release this, it actually goes into the ball. You can see there's not enough room in there for the 2 5/16. So I'm gonna have to pry that out. You can see in there the metal's all deformed, so I'll get that fixed, make sure that's solid, pull this out, and then I'll deal with this sometime tonight. All right, so I threw some straps around it. There's 3 of them going around because there's a couple doors, and then there was some plastic hanging. Gonna have to deal with this sharp edge at some point, but I got a strap this way so nothing here comes open. There's a big door here, and then there was some plastic drooping. I'm gonna get this tire changed because I tried to fill it, it didn't work. So it does have a spare. I gotta figure out how to release it. I think it's right there. So I'm gonna do that first. Good God, this thing is awful. But 3 out of 4 good tires. So I'm gonna head to the Flying J. I need to get this thing fixed. So I'm gonna try to finagle this to get it to go a couple miles up the road to the Flying J, and then we'll stop there, and then I'm gonna stop there all day. I might just do my 34 tonight. So, and then I'm gonna get somebody to come out, cut this off, and weld a new one on. Damn, it's windy. So unfortunately, I don't have a socket that will go in these stupid aluminum rims. They make the holes so small. So I think it's a 21, and it doesn't fit in the hole. Oh, that's right, I gotta grab my jack. Oh, good thing I came back over here. So that means that I'm just gonna drive it like this. I'm just gonna drive it like this to go to the truck stop, and then tomorrow when I call a guy out to come fix the hitch up front, I'll have him change the tire out. So when I get home, I need to go grab the correct socket. Oh, wouldn't you know it, it actually has working lights. Look at that. You know, most of the bulbs in it work. Do we have tail lights? We have lights up top. I gotta figure out where the taillights are at. Oh, there they are. Oh, wow. They actually work. Taillights. Oh, hell yeah. I'm gonna uncover them quick. Yeah, there we go. Same with this side. I'll throw some tape on that. I don't know yet. Hell yeah. I had to go a couple miles to the Flying J. That didn't happen, we got pulled over. So we will see how this goes, unfortunately. Good God, I hate this thing already. I'm gonna have somebody come out. The goal was to get it straightened and then wrap it, but oh well. The tire popped, and that's the issue we're having, so. All right, so I went back and bought some chromies. I didn't end up getting a ticket, 140 bucks. Personal though, he had nothing to do with DOT or anything like that, so. Doesn't affect the CSA score. I mean, it's not like this load was my idea anyway, but the plan is I'm gonna change the tire out, and then we're gonna try to pull that side over a little bit. I just would like to get to the truck stop first. All right, so I'm gonna finish this video out here, and then I'm gonna go to the next part. I'm just gonna keep this rolling because I don't wanna make the videos too long, but it is kinda nice to keep a little bit of a cliffhanger, keep you guys coming back. I'm gonna get this thing straightened out today. I'm sitting at a Flying J right now, but you will see the results of the pullover and in the next video. I'm gonna go over that and basically what I had to do and everything to get like everything going. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me some comments below. Let me know what you think. I'm kind of really late on posting these videos. I am trying to get work done and keep making money, so I just haven't had the time to really be doing any videos. I apologize for that, but and rant. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one. Safe travels. Don't do anything stupid like I do, and have a good one.